Hi, I am Zoe Starr, and welcome to my show, One Paranormal Extraction. Today we have Preston Dennett on. Now, he's got a bunch of stuff in the works, and I absolutely love Preston. Now, today we're going to be talking about out-of-body experiences and what else? All kinds of stuff. Preston, what was the other thing? Out-of-body experiences and astral travel, right?
Yes, astral travel, astral projection, OBEs, they're all pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so I just want to let you guys know, this is one thing I'm not really sure about, but you're going to absolutely love this. I know you will, because I've interviewed Preston before, and I just want to let everybody know that Paranormal Extraction, that's my name, we are the Supernatural Lightworkers, and Zoe and we are now working on some new and exciting and extraordinary cases, including the true story of Melody's entity attachment, which will be a documentary, okay? So today, we're gonna talk to Preston. I'm excited. All right, hey Preston. Sorry, I forgot about astral projection there for a second, because I think I'm in astral projection. Tell everybody a little bit about where they can find you, because I mean you're pretty well known in the UFO industry, and I know you put so much out there all the time. But why don't you tell us where to find you first?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty easy to find. If you punch my name into the internet, it should bring up my website, which is prestondennett.weebly.com, and you can contact me through my website. Got all my books up there. I'm all over social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, you are.
I've been around.
Yeah. But you got your UFO, your whole UFO thing going on YouTube, where people can just you're posting all the time, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. One thing I want to tell you guys, I brought the book out. We did an interview with Preston a while back, and I want you to watch it. As you know, we're doing things differently here. We're editing now, and things look a lot better. But this book, Symmetry, A True UFO Adventure, is out of all of Preston's books. If you look at it, all his books on Amazon, which is a lot, I just love Symmetry, A True UFO Adventure. Now, I'm on a bunch of sites, groups, and people are always talking horrifically about aliens and their alien experience of being probed and all of that. This book right here is so positive. It is unbelievably positive to where you might change your mind about the UFO experience with Dolly. Preston is telling Dolly's story. And matter of fact, Dolly from this book is going to be coming on the show later this month or next month. So, Preston, I just want to tell you that congratulations on this book. I highly promote it. And let's talk about what you love. And I guess you teach this? You teach this as well.
That's right, yeah.
So, what exactly you're talking about out-of-body experiences? I mean, for me, okay, let's just say this. For me, I have tried, I can't do it. Astral projection, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I haven't been able to do it. So I would have to actually take your workshop, because I don't get anything from books about it. And a lot of people ask about it. So why don't you tell us what you say in your workshops?
Yeah, well, I would start off with a simple definition of what it is. Astral projection, basically we all have astral body. It's often called the dream body, or you might even look at it as your soul in a way. It's that part of you that survives death. And the astral body is something, it's a natural part of the human organism. And actually, each night, all of us go out of body. This is what most astral travelers believe. I certainly do. And the astral body is very much like the physical body, except that it has some different properties. It doesn't age. It is able to levitate, walk through walls, do all kinds of things.
Right. Okay. Just let me interrupt you for a minute. I know that that has happened once, and I had a cord attached to my body, and maybe that's wrong. I don't know. It was like a white cord attached while I was out there. Okay,
that's right.
Okay, what you can talk about, because I don't know what I'm talking about. And I do know a lady that was highly into meditation, that when she would go into her room, she would levitate, sitting in the yogi position, and move around the room, and you'd hear big bumps, against the walls where she was levitating and moving around the room. It was really weird. Okay, so let's move on to that. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but okay, so you're talking about the astral body, and then you have your soul that goes around that. Tell me more about that and everybody else, because I don't know, Preston. I don't know. I'm just telling you my experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, we again all experience this. This is what a lot of dreams are, actually. Many dreams are sort of half-remembered out-of-body experiences, especially flying dreams. Lucid dreaming is very much connected to this. Often when a person is lucid dreaming, they are actually out of body. They're just still perceiving things as a dream. But when you're out of body, you're actually seeing an objective reality. And this is something anybody can do. I'd say the main obstacles are fear. There's a lot of, people are scared, like, ooh, that sounds scary. Yeah, it can be a little scary, especially in the beginning. Also, I think skepticism. People don't think they can do it. They think it's the sole realm of yogis and monks and saints and things like this. It's not. Anybody can do this. And I think another obstacle is just plain laziness, because it does take some effort.
Yes.
Meditation.
Yes. Yes, and yes, and yes. And that, I think, because I'm so hyper, that is why I couldn't do it. Because it is a lot of practice. I mean, I know a guy that was on one of the groups I was in talking about it, and he said he's been trying, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's a steep learning curve for some people. Absolutely. I think a lot of people's problems with it comes down to relaxation. Because that is the true key, is being able to physically relax and let go. But the benefits, let me just go quickly over some of the benefits, because this will, I think, inspire people. One major benefit is, of course, losing the fear of death. Because once you have your full-blown out-of-body experience, and you turn around and you see your body laying in bed, you realize, hands down, conclusively, that you do survive that you are independent of your physical body. So that is a huge, huge benefit. But you can visit deceased loved ones, you can go to the other side, you can talk to spirit guides or enlightened masters, go to the Akashic Library, learn about past lives. There are healing temples. I've actually documented some 20 or 30 cases of people who've been physically healed as a result of an out-of-body experience. So there are real benefits. It awakens up all your psychic centers. If you start doing this, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to start having dreams which come true, clairvoyance, telepathy, all kinds of wonderful experiences. So there's all sorts of benefits to doing this.
Okay, Preston, what about someone that doesn't dream, like me?
Ah, Zoe, you do, you do, you do, you do. Everybody dreams.
Okay, but if, let's just say I'm waking up every day and, I'm not dreaming. What would you say to me?
Yeah.
How would you help me?
Well, dreams are absolutely connected to this, and this is one pathway to learning how to do astral travel is what I would call dream work. And a really good way to remember dreams, I mean, there's several methods you can use. One is to allow yourself an extra hour of sleep each day. Another is to wake up in the middle of the night, walk around for a few minutes, do some activity, and then go back to bed. This allows you to sort of bring your awareness into the dream state. Probably one of the best methods is you keep a little book by your bed, a little diary, and each morning when you wake up, don't move. Don't do anything.
Wow.
If you just lay there and try to think to yourself, go back, so think, where was I? What was I doing? Who was I with? Because often you'll wake up and get the feeling like, gosh, you were out there doing something, and the dreams slip away so easily. The second you get out of bed, they're gone. So the trick is to just lay there. And if you can actually wake up and not roll over, because even rolling over can pull you right out of your memories.
Yeah, well, the greatest person is D, which is the cameraman here. He has, Preston, amazing dreams every single night where he wakes up and just goes, whoa. So he would be an easy candidate for this.
Oh, yeah. And if you're someone who doesn't remember their dreams, another thing you can do is when you go to bed, do affirmations. Say, tonight, I will remember everything.
Okay.
And tell yourself, I remember my dreams. Because we have a sort of tendency as humans to be a little bit self-defeating. Like, oh, I can't do it. I can't. I've tried, I can't. Tell yourself you can. You will remember. I remember my dreams. Say that each night.
Okay, I have a question, and even though obviously I'm going to get your book, right? I mean, obviously, and we'll probably do another interview once I know what I'm talking about. Quick question: what about somebody who can't sleep and is getting medication for that? Is that going to interfere?
No, it will actually improve your ability to fall asleep because the whole meditation to actually do this helps people who are suffering from insomnia or nightmares or all kinds of sleep problems.
Right.
And it's very simple to do. There's an enormous amount of literature out there about how to do astral travel. And when it started happening to me, I, of course, picked up all the books. And some of them make it sound scary and they complicate the issue. And I pretty much simplified it to 3 main steps. So when you go to bed at night, what you want to do is relax. Relax, 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 relax. It should take you about 20 minutes to fully relax and just go through each muscle group. And what you want to do is relax to the point where you start to feel a number of sensations, such as perhaps heaviness or lightness, numbness, tingling, vertigo even.
Really?
You want to get to the point where you're so relaxed, you're like, gosh, I'm not even sure which position I'm in. Where are my hands? Where are my feet? And you might, feel these physical sensations, but ultimately you want to get to the point where you're not even paying attention to your body.
Okay, question, I'm interrupting, and then we'll get back to that. When I do my meditations, and I go to a group, because if you're in a group, you know what I mean, it's better to do because everybody is doing it. So you're creating like this force field that's huge because you're in a group to meditate. Now, only when I'm in that group, I actually go in and out of consciousness. So I am doing some sort of astral travel as I'm going in and out, right?
Well, possibly.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I can't say for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, usually once you're in a sleeping state, you will go out of body, whether you remember it or not, at some point.
Okay, so we're into the relaxation part. Did you go through all the steps? I'm sorry.
No, that's the first step, is physically relaxing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh my God. I'm already overwhelmed by the first step. All right, let's go to step 2.
It is the most important step, and I think this is where most people falter, because people don't realize they're going to sleep grinding their teeth, clenching their fists, tossing and turning.
Yes.
You really want to relax to the point that you reach what's called the vibratory state, and you'll know it when you reach it. I don't know if you've ever been asleep and suddenly you feel like you're falling or lunging out of bed or
Oh, yeah.
feeling like intense movement. That means you're primed, you're ready. But ultimately, it feels sort of like an electric shock, like a strong buzz, which fills your body. But don't worry too much about that. Just relax, relax, relax. And then you go to the second step, which is mental relaxation. And when you start meditating, you realize you have a continuous stream of consciousness that's actually multi-layered. You're thinking about many things at once. You're thinking about all the tasks you procrastinated. You're thinking about work tomorrow. You're thinking about that song that you can't get out of your head. You are thinking about that person you're angry with or frustrated. And these are just layers upon layers of thought that are continuously going through our head at all times.
Right.
We aren't, in essence, dreaming when we're awake, because we're mired in this stream of consciousness. And when we go to sleep, they become our dreams.
Okay.
And we sort of build this environment around us when we fall into the dream state. So what you want to do is just step away from that stream of consciousness and watch it. Don't try to block it. Don't try to stop it. Just watch it and let your thoughts go. Don't attach yourself to them, which is what we always do. We attach ourselves to everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, that's a really hard part. That would take practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's, gets better with practice, absolutely. But it's not impossible. When I started doing it, my thoughts would go crazy. And people talk about this all the time. This is one of the things that keeps people up, insomnia, because your mind is just going a million miles an hour.
Exactly.
But just let it go. Step back, and you want to get to the point where you're mentally relaxed enough where you start seeing images. Your thoughts will turn into images. You may actually hear them as well. You'll see colors. So all of this means you're right at the point now where you can start doing the third step. And the third step is affirmations and visualizations. By affirmations, I mean you want to tell yourself, I am out of body. Tonight I will go out of body. Tonight I will remember everything that happens to me. I am out of body right now. Just go to sleep thinking that. And visualizations, and here's the key, this is how you go out of body. Once you're physically relaxed and mentally relaxed, where you're not like completely attached to the stream of consciousness, you start visualizations such as imagine yourself on a swing set, going back and forth, or perhaps on the bow of a boat, going up and down in the waves, or on an escalator going up, or an elevator going up. Imagine yourself holding a giant helium balloon, and it's lifting you up.
Wow.
Anything in movement.
Anything that's going up.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, any direction works.
Oh, really? Okay.
Imagine rolling out of bed. That's one of my most common methods. I've done all of these. These are in the literature. There's 200 different ways to do this. A very effective one is to imagine yourself running down a path. Just running. Just imagine yourself running.
Wow.
And suddenly you'll feel a whooshing sensation. You'll hear a little pop, and you're out of body.
Wow.
This works really well. Another is spinning in place, like Wonder Woman does, kind of, just spinning. That's very effective as well, because your astral body is sort of connected to your physical body. And what you're trying to do is listen it, and boom. So at this point, what you want to do is ignore the physical body, turn your attention 180 degrees away into your mental arena.
Right.
inside your mind's eye, so to speak, and do these visualizations. And another really good one is to just imagine a place you know well, preferably not your bedroom where you're at, but perhaps your backyard or a park or the living room or any place you know well. And what will happen is you'll start to visualize it, it'll get very clear, and then whoosh, you find yourself pulled to it. And another method that works really well, especially if you're a beginner, is what I call the love bridge. And what this is you visualize a deceased loved one. We have connections to the people we love that transcend death.
Yes.
And death, of course, isn't what people think it is. It's just walking through a doorway. No one ceases to exist.
Okay,
Death is a lie.
Wait a second. I actually did see that, okay? Someone had died, I was very close to, and long story short, okay, to get to what you're talking about, is he showed me what the other side was. And it's just a massive amount of energy that is, everything is energy, and it's just the most beautiful thing in the whole world. It's the most beautiful experience I've ever had. I was outside and I was looking at the lake, and I could see the energy, and I thought, oh my God, Christ walked on water. I mean, this sounds really weird, but I could see through the energy that this was going on for about 30 minutes of how that could actually happen. So I don't know why I'm saying that. It was in regards to something you said, but I just had to bring that up, that it was, if I could experience that through what you're talking about, that would be absolutely amazing. Okay? I can experience that by what you're talking about then, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, that's what, this is a method. It's what I call the love bridge. Almost, I think it's like 80% of people who have a loved one pass on will experience some sort of sign. Often it comes in the form of a dream, a very vivid dream where this person comes to you. The fact is, people do exist after death, and if you really want to have an out-of-body experience, they will take you to the other side.
Yes.
And show you.
Yes.
This happens all the time, and it's, as you said, absolutely lovely and really beautiful. This is how it happened to me.
Yes, it's I mean, it's unexplainable, okay? How, it's just, I can't even explain it, how wonderful it was.
Yeah, there's no words. So if you want to do it, just concentrate on a loved one. Imagine their face, their voice being within their presence, and say, I would like to see you tonight. I would love to meet with you. You can appeal to your spirit guides. We all have friends on the other side. You might not know them in this life, but you know people on the other side who you've had many incarnations with. Some of them, may have recently passed on. Some you might not know, in your waking consciousness in this world, but they are there. And when you do this, they will help you. There are no dangers. There's all kinds of talk about dangers in some of the early books on this subject, about being possessed or going too far out and getting lost, or all these things.
Isn't that what the cord is for?
Yes, the silver cord.
Tell us about the cord, but first let me tell you a funny story. I had a friend, I didn't know they astral projected, but so I saw him the next day, and he's like, I saw you last night and you were doing this. It was late at night, and I go, what do you mean? Because I knew what I had done, right? And he said, I was just coming in to check on you. So I know what he was doing now, okay? I know what he was doing now. So let's talk about that cord that, I experienced, and what, is this part of something you need?
We all have a silver cord that connects us to our physical body. It's an energetic cord, cannot be severed. It's only severed upon physical death. It is extremely durable and strong. I mean, a lot of people who go out of body don't see it. Some do. I never saw mine for years until I'm like, I need to see this thing. And I finally did.
Wow.
And I've seen it a few times now.
Wow.
But yeah, we all have a silver cord. It might come out of, any part of your body. Often it's the back, or sometimes the head. Sometimes, really can be any part. But it's this energetic silver cord that will pull you back if you have the least fear,
right,
or sense any danger or any strong emotion really at all. It will pull you right back into your body. The danger is not, getting back. The real hard part of going out of body is staying out, because it's very easy to fall back into your body or fall back into the dream state. But the silver cord is what will pull you back.
Okay, so are we in step 4 now?
That's basically the 3 steps. There is one other thing that I would tell people who want to do this, and this is the best way to do it of all of them. I mean, it's important to keep a dream book and try to remember your dreams. Relaxation and meditation have all kinds of benefits, and they will really, really help you to do this. If you can physically relax, mentally relax, and do these visualizations and affirmations. But there is something you can do during your waking life that is pretty much guaranteed to give you this ability to do astral travel. But you have to do it, and that's where people fall short. And what this is what I call reality testing. Throughout the day, you want to ask yourself, am I out of body right now? And that may sound ridiculous because you kind of know you're not, you know what I mean?
Okay, you mean like if I'm just walking around the lake, am I out of my body now? You mean you're talking about that?
No, I mean right now you're sitting right there in front of your computer. Ask yourself, could this possibly be an out-of-body experience?
Oh, because I do meditation all around the lake. And I could definitely say that probably out of the hour, a half hour, I am out of my body.
That's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm asking, like, right now, ask yourself, could this possibly be an out-of-body experience I'm having? And this is a difficult thing for people to do because you know you're awake. When you're awake, you kind of know it, right? So it's like people are like, well, that's kind of ridiculous. I know I'm in the physical world. I'm awake. I'm walking. I'm eating. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to work. But I'm asking you to seriously consider the possibility that you are not awake. Because the fact is, you spend 1/3 of your life in the astral state.
Wow.
And it is so real. It is absolutely completely vivid that people never question the possibility that they are actually out of body, and they are. So while you're awake, you need to ask yourself this. And there are a couple of ways that you can determine if you truly are out of body or not. And again, I know this sounds ridiculous, but you got to do it.
Right.
And one is to look around your room, wherever you are, for anomalies. Anything that doesn't seem quite right.
Okay.
And if you study dreams, you will see that practically without exception, your dream will contain an anomaly.
Okay.
The driveway will be facing the wrong way. You will have a couch that's the wrong color.
Right.
There will be a window that's not there. Or you will see, it's endless. Just a tiny little thing that doesn't fit your normal reality. That is one method. But a much better method is to try to fly. So you basically... D
does it all the time.
Just jump up.
Yeah, D flies.
And go.
Yeah, D.
Jump up.
Okay.
Just like that.
D does it all the time. I think, you know what? I think he's living in that world probably 95% of the time.
And if you're at work and no, I'm not going to jump up and make a fool of myself.
No, he'll be jumping up all the time. Believe me. Yeah.
Take a pen and throw it into the air, and see does it float?
Right.
Okay. No, not floating. Okay, you're probably awake. Another method is to take your finger and try to perhaps stick it through the desk.
Right.
And can you penetrate the desk? Go ahead and try it. Zoe, are you doing it? Give it a try, and you will see that your finger is not going through the desk, right?
Right, okay.
So do this as much as you can per day, but at least 3, 5, 10 times a day. If you can do a little bit of a regimen, like every time I get up, I'm going to try to fly, I'm going to look around the room, I'm going to try to see if an object floats, I'm going to try to stick my finger through the wall. Do this 10 times a day. And here's what will happen. You will be at work one day, and you're like, all right, I'm going to do this stupid exercise. This makes no sense. I know I'm awake. You're going to put your finger on your desk and try to penetrate it, and your finger will go right through the desk. Or you will try to jump, and you will float up into the middle of the room. And boy, are you going to be surprised when you realize you are already out of body.
Wow.
This is called reality testing. And again, the problem is people think they're awake, and they're not.
Okay.
When you're in the out-of-body state, it's completely real. It's more real than reality, actually.
Well,
So people never consider that they might be out of body. This will work. If you do this enough, it will work.
well, like you said, it can help with so many different things in your life, like you said. There's something about Casey, Mr. Casey, he was famous for out-of-body experiences all the time.
Yeah, Edgar Casey. Yeah.
Okay. So, so Edgar Casey is some good stuff to read about that. I think that's what I was reading. Matter of fact, that's where I learned about it, was Edgar Casey, and he healed people, is what he did by that. I mean, he killed himself, I believe, by doing too much of it. But your stuff is that is just too difficult for me to read. The way you write is really easy to understand. So I would recommend that people read your book on this, because you're easy to understand. You're not just pie in the sky, this is it, this is the only thing. What book is this from?
Yeah, I did write a book about this called Out of Body Exploring, A Beginner's Approach. And I noticed, a lot of the books on this subject are not super accessible. They complicate the issues. They jump right into the deep end. So my book basically takes you step by step through how to do this. And it's backed up by the accounts of a lot of other people, my own experiences, and I kind of lead you through how to do this. How it began for me was my mom passed away in 1984. It was tragic. She was quite young, 49, and I did not believe in life after death. And even after I saw her spirit, at the service, I thought, well, I'm obviously hallucinating because ghosts aren't real. Okay. And it started to get me interested in this subject because she kept coming into my room at night.
Wow.
I would wake up, and there she would be standing next to my bed, smiling, telling me everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm just fine. And then I would wake up for real. So this was a false awakening. I was having, now I realize, pre-lucid or lucid dreams.
Okay.
Or actually, visitations.
Right.
But at the time it was very confusing because I couldn't reconcile it. There was no such thing as life after death, I thought, so this can't be real. But I knew in my heart that was really her, just by the quality of her presence.
Right.
And after this happened 20, 30 times, I thought, okay, I need to figure out what's going on here.
That's what happened to me too. It's the same thing. So it would be a benefit for me to read your book. Is right?
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of books on this. I would recommend Robert Monroe's books. Okay. He's really the king at all this. Another guy I really like is William Buellman. But yeah, definitely my book, I think, will help people who are really interested in doing this and reading out-of-body books. is a really good way to inspire you, because it does take a lot of focus, a lot of energy, a lot of discipline. Some people can do this the first night. Others, it might take them a year. There's sort of, a lot of variation here. And it depends on how, much you're willing to put forth. It's basically a process of really desiring it, imagining it, focusing on it, intending. You must intend to do this. You got to wrap that all together and do it. And you can do this.
Right. So what I love about our conversation today is, when people, I'm on a bunch of UFO sites and they say this different stuff, there's a lot of different times that people are in need. And so then I recommend your book. Okay. This book right here, everybody. When I get this stuff about the astral projection and out-of-body experiences, about people having a tough time, now I can just go in and put the link to YouTube, and then they can find out, which is a benefit to them, and because they're frustrated, and they have no idea where to look, and so it could help a lot of people, really a lot of people, because they're very, very confused.
I did a big, long 2-part episode on my own YouTube channel on my own experiences and how to do it.
Oh, you did? Okay. So Preston Dennett on YouTube. Okay. Good.
Yeah, because some people don't, they're not really readers. And that's just how it is. And I get that. We're all very busy. Some people just prefer a different format. I have taught classes on how to do this. How it began for me was, I finally picked up Robert Monroe's book, which was called Journeys Out of the Body. He also has Far Journeys and The Ultimate Journey. They're great books, highly recommended. And I'm like, wow, this guy is for real. He's clearly sincere. He gives exercises on how to do it in the back of the book. I thought, I'm going to try this. This sounds scary, but I'm certainly intrigued, and I'm not sure I believe this. But if he says anyone can do it, why not give it a try? And I buckled down and started meditating, doing visualizations and stuff. And it worked. It took me about a month and a half before I had my first full-blown out-of-body experience. I was laying in bed one afternoon. I was a little depressed. It was a difficult time in my life.
Right.
My mom had passed away. I found out UFOs were real, so that was a big adjustment.
Yeah.
And I was just laying there, and suddenly my body began to feel very heavy, and then it filled with this vibration. And I didn't realize at the point that I was reaching what we call the vibratory state. I thought I was being electrocuted by sticking my finger in the light socket next to my bed.
Oh my God.
It's not funny, Zoe. I mean, it is now.
I know. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
No.
If it's that terrible that, okay, yeah, go ahead.
It scared me. It really did.
I'll be nice. All right, yeah. Okay, so you were scared.
Oh, no, I am just kidding. It was, looking back, it's hilarious. But at the time it wasn't. I was like, I am dying. I'm being electrocuted. What's happening?
Oh my God.
And the next thing, it got so powerful, I thought, I cannot stand this another second.
Yeah.
And I felt this whoosh and a little pop. And I found myself flying through my room, out of control. Went right out the door, crossed the hallway and into the bathroom, assumed a vertical position and grabbed the counter and looked in the mirror.
Oh, wow.
And there was nothing there.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God, I am doing it. I'm out of body. I'm doing it. And I was thrilled. I was so excited.
Wow.
And that strong emotion pulled me right back into my body. I got pulled into my room and I saw someone standing there. I'm like, who's that? And I couldn't focus on them. My vision wasn't good. That's something you have to learn.
Okay.
And I kind of floated over my body and plopped right back in.
Wow.
That was my first one.
Wow.
And I had a second one the next weekend. I would usually do them on Saturdays when I could sleep late, or Sunday. And the third one, I woke up in the middle of the night standing next to my bed. And I had a little bit of vertigo. And I finally oriented myself and realized I was fully awake. I thought, what am I doing? And I looked down on my bed and I saw myself under the covers. And I thought, oh no, I am dead.
Oh my
I
God.
have just died. Yeah, I got a cold chill, to say the least. I mean, that's putting it lightly. I truly thought I was dead.
Wow.
And I immediately dived back into my body. And I wasn't dead, it turned out.
Right. Okay.
I was just out of body, and I filled up my body kind of like a jello mold almost. It's a very weird feeling.
Okay.
And I woke up. I'm like, oh, okay, that was an out-of-body experience. And my emotions went 180 degrees from dread and fear to joy and excitement.
Wow.
Like, oh, this isn't real. So now, from that point on, I started doing it about once or twice a week. And I would pop out for, this is so funny, 5 seconds. And I would go, yay, I'm doing it, yay! And whoosh, right back into my body. Did that for almost a year until I finally popped out one day. I'm like, okay, calm down.
Okay.
Calm down.
Great.
And I was able to not get pulled back into my body.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, now how do I move? I'm sitting there flapping my arms in the middle of the room. I'm like a spider stuck. I'm like, what am I? And I finally learned it was willpower. You just have to will yourself. And I went right through the bedroom door and I started exploring the house. And that became the next year. We're just walking through walls and flying up through the roof and walking around the house and venturing farther and farther outside.
Yeah.
So much fun, Zoe. So much fun.
Well,
to be able to fly is worth the price of admission alone.
Okay, well, my experience was absolutely unbelievable, but I know Dee, which I wish he was over here and talking right now about his experiences, but he does this all the time. So he doesn't even know that he's doing out of body then. He's over there shaking his head like, yeah. So do you believe that that's actually what he's doing?
Probably, if you're flying around in the dream state, that's an out-of-body experience. Sometimes it could be what a lucid or pre-lucid dream, which are essentially the same thing. The only real difference is when you're lucid dreaming, yeah, you can fly around, but you're creating an environment from your own mental projections.
Okay, Preston, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Dee is so excited about your what you're talking about, okay, that he's going to come over here and sit and talk to you for a second.
No, I'm just going to talk to
No,
him.
come on. Come over here and sit down, and then because he really does, okay? He wasn't, so let's have him come over and sit down. All right? Dee, go over.
I really wasn't prepared
Okay.
for this, but you're getting me so excited. No, really, because when I'm in that dream state, and I feel myself flying from, like you said, I lift my arms a little bit, and I know I can fly, and everybody's looking at me, and I can sense the disbelief or from people, and I have this confidence that yes, I can fly, but what really gets to me is when I'm done, or not done, but when I'm in it, I feel that I can do this in my real life. So I don't even have to convince myself when I'm doing this flying that when I'm awake, I can fly. I can do this all the time. And then when I wake up, I'm a little bit disappointed that I can't fly, and because it feels so powerful and so wonderful when I'm flying around and different modes of flying, but most of the time just the feeling that you're flying around is so powerful and so real that I didn't really expect to hear you say this, or hear you talk about this, and separating the dream from when I wake up and I can't fly when I have those dreams is disappointing.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
I'm like,
President-
wow, I've discovered this. I can levitate.
okay,
And then I wake up.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
let
darn
Dee,
it.
I'm gonna let Dee sit right there because we never know what we're doing. How can you help him? Help him understand this. Like, there might be other people out there. Could you help Dee understand what's going on?
Yeah, well, you're doing it. So what I would just recommend is write them down, continue to do it, and start doing experiments. When you go to bed at night, say, tonight I'd like to learn about past lives. Tonight I'd like to go to the other side. Tonight I'd like to visit a deceased loved one, or a spirit guide, or an enlightened master.
Nice.
I would like to go to the Akashic plane. Try any type of experiment. Go visit a friend. Go visit the city. You can go to the moon or other planets. There's all kinds of things you can do. And if you can set the intention at night, this will bring clarity. And when you're out of body, one of the first things you can do to really help yourself is to stop and meditate. And if you feel yourself not in full awareness, shout out clarity, clarity, clarity. Raise awareness, raise awareness. Really just sort of calm down and try to bring all of your awareness to you. This will definitely help.
Excellent. I'm going to try. I'm very excited now because I look forward to those dreams so much. That power of experiencing that is, I tell people about my flying, and very rarely do I speak with anybody about their dreams that have had the ability to fly. I mean, I've even taken this so far as to be inside certain ships or something, and I could see ships in the sky and mass groups of let's just say UFOs or whatever they are up there. It's so real that not only can I fly sometimes, but I'm inside one of the ships and I'm flying around with them, and so
yeah, these are real experiences. People think of dreams as being somewhat imaginary, but they are more real than the physical world in some ways. They don't degrade. You can go back to them, and an experience is an experience. Whether it is mental or physical, it is still absolutely real. And what's really interesting, Dee, is you talk about like, gosh, I can't fly when I wake up. Well, if you persist, you can. Robert Monroe has had 2 levitation experiences, which are directly connected to him going out of body over and over again. He physically levitated. So did Marilyn Hughes. She's written some 10, 20 books on this subject. I spoke to her directly, and she has physically levitated. So have a number of astral travelers. And if you look at the lives of the saints, this is what happens. All these abilities you have in the out-of-body state, levitation, telekinesis, teleportation, telepathy, will translate into the physical world. And the day will come when you'll be walking around and suddenly you float up off the floor. Hasn't happened to me. I feel like I've been very close a few times. I know people who've done it. But yes, you can physically levitate. It's 100% connected to having out-of-body experiences.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Okay, so you've planted some sort of goal, some sort of.
Get his book.
Yeah, oh, for sure. That's going to be the starter.
What's the name of your book again? Let me come over here.
Yeah, she's switching back.
So, you know how we are.
This is
This
fun.
is the first time, but, okay, so say what the name of your book is again. I want to make people know what this book is.
Yeah, it's called Out of Body Exploring, A Beginner's Approach, published by Hampton Roads. I'm going to put out another out-of-body book shortly.
Okay.
And not to complicate the issue, we have our physical body, we have our etheric body, which is our aura, our astral body, which is what we basically call what we're going in, but we have multiple bodies. So you can have an out-of-body experience and you'll be flying around in your astral body, and you'll leave your astral body and go into your causal body.
Wow.
Or your akashic body. So we have, according to Eastern tradition, 7 bodies. But it's sort of an illusion because you're not really, space itself is an illusion. And the fact is, we're not really astral projecting outwards. We're returning home. The real projection is down into your physical body.
Right.
And we are out here projecting into a physical body for a number of years. And then we go back to the astral plane, which is our true home.
Okay, well, this
The
is a loaded question. Why are we in these bodies then? This is loaded. I'm loading you. I got the gun pointed at your head. Why are we in these meat suits?
For a number of reasons. There are things we can experience on the physical plane that you cannot experience on in the higher realms. There's a sense of individuality here on Earth, of being cut off from everyone else that you can't experience there. You can't experience pain or loss.
Right, when you're up there. Agreed.
Right, and coming down here, well, Robert Monroe talked about this. He said, this is Earth school. And the people who graduate from Earth school are highly respected on the higher planes. And I'm like, I sure hope so, because Earth school is hard. I can't wait to graduate. But yeah, we come here to learn, to experience, to have fun, to experience what chicken nuggets taste like.
Oh,
to smell flowers, to do all the things that, to feel pain, pleasure, to know what it's like to have poison oak and scratch it. You're not going to get that on the astral planes.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. So I actually want to live there all the time.
Yeah, once you go to the other side, you'll be like, do I have to leave?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you also realize that you're fine coming back to Earth. You realize that you do get to go home.
Right.
And that life on Earth is truly fleeting, because there's a sense of timelessness on the other side. Time flows differently when you're on the other side.
When I was doing it, there is no time.
Exactly.
This is a whole different experience when I had, believe it or not, Archangel Michael visit me. And I walked out of my bedroom and I was absolutely huge. And all I could do is stare at the clock. And the clock made absolute no sense to me. Time meant no sense to me whatsoever. I didn't know what time was. I mean, literally, it was like I was in a different body. And maybe I was just doing an astral projection and I was walking around. Maybe that's what it was. But I really did not understand what time was. And I just stood there for 5 minutes and just stared at this clock on the wall, like going, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. When you have an out-of-body experience, the present moment expands to a degree that time begins to collapse in a way. And you will have visions of the future that do come true. You can visit the past, and it's all very real. Colors on the other side are so much more vivid.
Oh my God, I know.
Reality itself sparkles with a vivid
Yes.
clarity that's almost impossible to describe.
Yes, I've had that.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
And for me, I mean, I really got into it because I wanted to know where my mom was. Was there life after death? What happened to her? And she eventually did show up and took me on a tour of what I would call the other sides, the heavenly realms, which are very pastoral, very beautiful, flowers and trees and streams, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, it sparkles. It's so I mean, you cannot describe it with words.
No, that happened to me, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and there's no way I could describe it to anybody.
But you can visit your pets. Every person I know, pretty much without exception, who has passed on, at some point I will see them. Just this year, tragically, my young nephew died at age 40, and it usually takes me a week or two or a month, or in a few cases years. I mean, I didn't see my dad for years. But that night, the day he died, I got pulled through a tunnel of light, much like you hear about near-death experiences,
Right.
into this huge room that was filled with people. And I knew, I've done this a lot, so you get a lot of impressions and you know what's going on once you get practiced at this. And I was in a room where all the people had gone who had recently died. And there was a lady at a desk, a greeter, if you will. And I walked up to her, a very nice lady with dark hair, great smile. And I said, "Hi, my name's Preston. I don't know if you can help me, but I'm looking for my nephew, and his name is James." And she smiled and said, "Yes, turn around. He's right behind you."
Wow.
So I turned around, and there he was. I'm like, "Oh, James." I hadn't seen him for 3-5 years. I'd forgotten he's like 6'2". He's quite tall. And he was standing really tall, and like people do when you die, you thrust your chest out. You're glowing with life, light. You look absolutely your best. You should see me on the other side. My hair comes back. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. And I'm like, James.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you. I love you. I grabbed his hand. He's like, "I love you too, Preston." And I'm like, "How are you doing? How is everything?" He says, "You know what? I'm actually fine. I'm really fine." He's just smiling from ear to ear. He says, "Preston, I just want you to know I've been looking at your YouTube videos."
Wow. Wow.
He's like, "That's what I said." I'm like, "Oh, really?" He's like, yes. And I love that one you just did with the UFO that you described. It was yellow and blue, I think. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know that one." He says, "You're doing really important work. Don't stop. You don't realize how many people you're affecting. This is really important work you're doing."
Yes.
I wanted to talk about him. I wanted to find out what he was doing.
Yeah.
And here he is, complimenting me. And I'm like, "Oh, James." And I just got so filled with love that it pulled me back. But I came back, and that grief, that crushing grief you have when someone dies, just lifted.
Right.
And I was good. Because I know he's there, and I met him.
Right. Well, you know what, Preston, after talking to you today, I know that when I go out and do this meditation that I do, that I am actually astral projecting. Because there is, every day in that state, I go through different states of getting to that point, where I have to focus on this, and then get up there. And I actually am in this place where I don't want to come back. So I know that I'm doing a form of this. I just haven't taken that to the next level. So it's really important that I'm talking to you today, because now I get it. Now I get it. So now, once I got that, I can move on from there. Because now I understand through our talking what you're talking about, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can't encourage people enough to do this. The astral body is also called the desire body. I just want to give you a little warning here of what to expect. Because when you pop out of body, emotions become extremely powerful. Thought rules.
Right.
What you think about will often manifest. And if you have unresolved issues, they're going to come back at you at full force. Whether it's greed or excitement or lust or whatever.
Yeah, I go to the Akashic records before I go up in there.
This is it's actually a great place to work out issues. I didn't really think I had anger issues, but I would pop out of my body sometimes and I would be just angry. I had to deal with lust, and gluttony was another thing. I would create feasts of food.
Wow.
Like brownies and chicken nuggets and sour cream and onion potato chips and Neapolitan ice cream. I would just gorge. It's so much fun.
Wow.
So you can live out any fantasy you can think of without getting graphic. Yes, you can do whatever you want.
That's pretty much what I do. I actually get in a Super Ball at that time and travel to different places I want to travel. Like, let's say Disneyland, I want to, Greece, I want to go see the pyramids or whatever. And I have a Super Ball that actually goes to those places, So I'm doing it. I just didn't know it.
Yeah, well, I keep telling everyone, I can't do it. How do I do it? You are doing this.
Right.
You are already doing it. So the real trick is memory. It is trying to recall what's happening to you at night.
Wow.
I've been on the other side, and I meet my family there who are living. My brothers, my sisters. You know, I have 5 brothers and sisters. One's deceased now. I've met him, but I've met the living ones. And I'm like, hey, you're out of body. Did you know that? I'm like, oh yeah, I know it. I'm like, oh, you do know? I'm like,
Wow.
yes. Like,
Wow.
will you remember this? And they said, well, no, I'm not there yet. I'm like, how can you not remember if you remember now?
Right.
I said, well, I don't have that ability yet.
Right.
And I actually argued with them about it. But yeah, we all do this every night.
Yes. Well, geez, I just want to say that I'm so glad that you came on today, and I was like really pushing you. I was like, no, Preston, we're not talking about, aliens, UFOs, or out of body, not out of body. I want you to talk about what you love. And you were kind of, it was kind of funny because you were kind of like, huh? Kind of like, okay. You seem like really happy about that. And, I've learned so much, and I just wanted to let everybody know that if you go to Preston Dennett, especially on Amazon, you can see, how many books do you have out now? Oh my God, a lot.
Yeah, 29, almost 30.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of weeks.
30 books out. Oh, okay. What's your next book?
I'm putting out volume 4 of Not From Here, which is an exploration of the weirder, more unusual aspects of UFO encounters. So,
Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to have to do an interview on that.
That'd be awesome.
No, because you know what? You're so great about making it so easy. That's what I love about you. And I'm saying this again, for people to understand. You have a way of writing that works, okay? Because of the way you explain it. Where other books, they don't really explain it, and you're kind of like, huh? With yours, it's not that way whatsoever.
No, thanks, Zoe. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do try to make my books accessible, easy to read, fun to read. Because reading should be fun.
Yeah, it is. So, okay, so we know where to find your books. This has been a fantastic interview with you, as usual, okay? And you know me, I'll be putting it everywhere. And I just want to thank you so much for wanting, when I asked you, do you want to come back again? I thought, it's kind of pushing it. That you just immediately said yes. And I was like, wow, okay. And that's why I do the pre-interviews, because I want people to talk about what they want to talk about. I don't want to just see some book and then just say, hey, I want you to come on the show, and then have them on the show and not even really know who they are, because then if I wouldn't have had you on a pre-interview, I would have never known, what you really love. So I just want to thank you so much. And I'm going to ask you right now, I want to do an interview with you on your new book. When is it coming out?
I don't have the exact date, but it looks like it might be by the end of this month.
Okay, well that's perfect, because I'm booked all the way through December, starting January. I think I have one in December that just got canceled, so I'll send you a message on that.
Very cool. I love it.
All right. Okay. So everybody out there, about astral projection and out-of-body experiences. You've actually heard my story, which is cool because obviously I'm doing it and I had no idea I was. And Dee, which is doing it, sounds like, all the time. So Preston is making it really easy for you to understand. And I'm sure that this is going to resonate with you some way, in one way or another. So, Preston, I hate to say goodbye, but I'm going to have to say goodbye, and we will meet again. And of course, tell Dolly I said hi.
I sure will. Thanks, Zoe.
Okay, thank you so much for being on today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.